Hello everyone, my name is Anjali and today I am here to share my IIM CAP interview experience with you all. So let's start. So the interview was held on 14th Feb 2023 and I was allotted the afternoon slot. I was asked to join the link at 1:30 p.m. Although my interview started at 2:15 p.m., I was the fourth person to be interviewed. There were three candidates before me, and my interview lasted for around 14 to 15 minutes. There were two male panelists, and the first panelist started off by asking that where have I joined from. So I told him that, sir, I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan. He then asked me that if I'm Marwadi or not. So I told him that no, sir, I'm not. And he then said that I have a very unique surname. So is there any story behind it? So I told him that my great grandfather was a poet and he used to write poems during the independence, and that's how people gave him the surname Azad. So he told me that, yeah, that's a very interesting story. And he then asked a little bit about my father. So he asked me that your father works at RBI, so why do you want to do MBA? Why not join RBI? So I was expecting this question and I had prepared it, so I gave the answer. And the subsequent questions were related to my undergraduation subjects, that was English literature and psychology. So he asked me that, do you know who Adonis is? So I told him that, yes, sir, he is a Greek mythological figure. And then he asked me that, yes, but there is a poet who is also called Adonis. So I told him that, yes, sir, John Keats is the poet. And then he asked me about a book called Frankenstein. So I told him that I have not read the book, but I know about it a little bit. So he asked me that, name the author. So I told him that it's Mary Shelley. He then asked me that, what authors have I read? So I told him that I have read Shakespeare, Jane Austen, and many other. So he asked me that, can you name a book written by D.H. Lawrence that was banned in India? So I couldn't recall the book and I had no idea about it. So I told him honestly that no, sir, sorry, but I have no clue about it. He then said that that's all right. So do you know who Anne Hathaway is? So I told him that yes, sir, she is the wife of Shakespeare. He then said that yes, that's right. And he then asked the next panelist to continue the interview. So the next panelist started by asking me that what was my job or my work at the NGO that I have worked with. So I told about it, and he then asked me that what is the difference between an NGO and a social enterprise. So I told him the basic difference is that NGO is not at all focused on earning profit, whereas social enterprise is focused on earning profit as well. He then asked me that, can you say that a cigarette selling company is a social enterprise? So I said, no, sir. And he then asked that my father works at RBI, so do I know where the mints are located? So I told him that Nagpur is where the treasury is located, but I don't know about the mints. So he gave me the hint that in South there is a mint. So I said that I'm not sure, but maybe Hyderabad. So at that time I was not sure that if I was right, but Hyderabad was the right answer. He then asked me that who is my role model and why. So I told him that my mother is my role model and I gave the reason for the same. And he then asked me that how will I manage the maths during the MBA because all of my peers will be from engineering background. So I have been asked this question in almost all of my interviews. Therefore, I had prepared an answer for it and I gave that answer. He then asked me about my hobbies and I had mentioned that I am also a freelance model. So he asked me about a bit and I told everything. He asked me that is there anything else that I have learned? So I told him that yes, sir, when I was younger, like in my childhood, during my childhood days, I had learned karate. So he asked me that should we be afraid of you since you know karate? So that was just a joke that he said that at the moment. And besides that, there was no other question. And overall, the interview experience was really good. because all the questions asked were pretty straightforward. There was no in-depth questions, or they did not grill me at all, and both of them were really friendly. They even joked in between, and overall it was a very good experience. Thank you.